But it's sad because when him tell us that the baby skull it crack and bleeding around the brain, the way ma tell me is like no hope no dead. Some
Hey everybody, I know you guys must be wondering who we are, but I am Lorenzo
I'm Chrissy.
and we are new to YouTube. We were inspired to make this channel because of our son Leandre. He's a twin, but he met in a car accident.
A year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. So this basically we're going to talk about the whole experience that he went through. How
The
he's
struggle,
yeah, the
the
struggles,
pain.
how he's recovering now, like the process, like everything that happened from then
To know.
until now. So it's practically like a story time about everything that happened during
The,
from he just met in the accident until
to
now.
know.
So okay, so how it happened. So May 17, 2019, that's the day that Chrissy went into labor, right? And she was there for 8 days because she didn't have the normal birth. She had to do a C-section. So she was there in the hospital longer than intended. Um, so it was Saturday, May 25 that we was told that she would be discharged, and bear in mind that this was about sometime after 6 in the evening. So we didn't plan, I wasn't planning to receive her on that day. So
Due to the blood count,
yeah,
because my blood count was very low, so they were trying to build up my blood count. So them didn't want it to reach 10, but it was 7. So them said, "Ma just discharge me with the 7." So them discharged me that day.
yeah. So it wasn't planned for us. Well, for me to receive her that day, I wasn't planning that. That was the day that I would bring home my newborn, you know. And they told us that at that time that we could get her, and so we had arranged a drive to come and pick us up with the twins. So we got in contact with someone, and they came for us.
So the drive came, and on our way home, we met in our car accident with the twins.
Okay, so this is a Saturday night, right? So it was rain was falling. So you know,
Place the dark.
yeah, and I will on my drive I come out them time there. So
So the car that we lick up, we never see the car.
yeah, because it was a uphill. It was a dark Saturday night as well.
And him never have on a phone flash off for notify anybody. When they might come up, them can see him. Plus the car was burgundy.
Yeah, and the car was parked on our side of the road. So when we coming up the hill or whatever, it was parked on the side of the road that the upcoming traffic would pass, you know. So it was dark, there wasn't much light, so we didn't see anything. Well, as far as I know, I couldn't see anything on the road.
But someone was in the front seat, shout out and say,
Yeah, that there was a car immediately in
so
front.
by the time she feel like eventually when she shout out, we done lick already. And then the baby,
Yeah, so as it relates to the baby, Chrissy had one of the baby in her hand, and I had the other, right? The one that fell. I had him. So at this point, I couldn't see anything on the road. I didn't even know that the car was about to crash until I heard like everybody in the car screaming or whatever, because I wasn't focused on the road because I was at the back with the baby in my arm. So when the car had collided with the other car, that's when I was practically blocked out. I didn't know anything until I was outside of the car.
so when me finally come out of the car, I start cry for the baby. And I say, my baby, my baby. And someone turned to me and say, lady, you have the baby in your hand. I said, no, a twin.
Yeah, so at this point, I was like, me didn't even remember because me said me practically unconscious. Sorry about that. So me never know what is what. So after now when me see like Chrissy are crying or whatever, then me remember that yo me did have the next baby. There was a second baby and me did have him and me couldn't see him. So same time I remember say me did have him. So me rush back into the car. There's a good Samaritan.
Rad.
Yeah, next taxi man. He was there and he was like, you have a next baby or whatever. I say, yeah man, I'm supposed to be in the car or whatever. And him follow me go look and me shine the light in the car and me see him on the ground. He was unresponsive. So I find him on him, lay him like face down. And me take him up and the taxi man offered to bring us to the hospital. So at this point the baby was just crying. The other one was crying. We did think something wrong with him as well, but we never know how like
No,
severe.
Lico wasn't crying. So the twin one, me did have twin one and him have twin two. So twin one never did cry, him did sleep and like when we go on the way back to the hospital, every minute him a open his eye, him a shut his eyes. So me this swear thing say something wrong with him, which him did have twin two. Twin two a ball and me still a penetrated to twin one. Right, because him ain't open, him just asleep, but me never know some asleep. Me think there's something wrong with him. So,
So yeah, we reached back to the hospital and we went to the emergency section and like the people in there was like the doctors were like
surprised and say, you know,
yeah,
just leave the hospital so you reach back.
Yeah, we just literally discharged you guys and what are you doing back here and you know them see the baby a cry or whatever and they took the baby.
No, they took Liam, that is twin one.
Yeah, they took Liam.
Because we didn't think that
we did more concerns that something wrong with him because he wasn't like we think he probably did knock out or in some coma or something because he never responsive. He mostly did asleep. But the other baby that I had that fell in the car,
he was
that
crying.
was the one that was really, really crying.
So while the doctor have twin one, I take twin two from him. So I have twin two in my hand now. When I have twin two in my hand now, him stop crying. He was stopping up like, you know, like when you cry and you stop and you don't want temper, him just stop do that. So me having him hand when him stop cry, him stop stuff, him stop like stop jump or whatever. Me really look down on him and me realize him stop breathe. When he stop breathe, start cry out. And me cry out, I tell the doctor say him stop breathe. So the doctor take the baby from me and when the doctor take the baby from me now, he start lick the baby foot bottom. Then keep on doing it. Then them say, I'm going to do an x-ray on the baby chest to see if anything in him body damage. So them do it and then come back and them say everything alright. Then we have the baby now and the doctor come back and say him did born with a swelling on his left side. I said no, he never born with a swelling. So them tell me say he need a CT, an emergency CT scan for do.
Yeah, and the CT scan was not done at the hospital at that time. So they had referred us to do it like privately, right? And this was an emergency. So we had to do it at a different hospital, a private hospital. So I went there and I started everything that was needed for the CT scan. And he was rushed there the same night and he came back. We were waiting at the hospital, you know, waiting for the results to come back and everything. And there for a while until we saw the doctor come back around where we were at. And I think the results was faxed to the hospital, so he had the CT scan. And he looked at it and everything, then he came to us and he told us that the baby had fractured his head, his skull.
His skull cracked, but you wasn't there.
Yeah,
So he came to me, you know, and then he said to me, say, Mommy, I need to talk to you. So where's the father? I said, he's gonna do one scan.
Yeah, because as I said before, I practically passed out during the whole accident because I had collided in the car differently. So
So him come to me and him said to me, say, Mommy, we have to go transfer the baby to children. So I say, what happened? Him said to me, say, the baby's called crack. And the baby have a bleeding around brain.
so he had a bleeding inside and around the brain, right? And what the doctor was saying was that they couldn't facilitate the baby at the hospital because they didn't have the equipment that were needed to help him, to push through or to survive the whole um, incident. So they requested us to Bustamante Hospital, right? And he left there. Well, we signed the documents and everything, and he went there.
Me dey really sad and me dey sad because when him tell us that the baby scalded crack and bleeding around the brain, the way ma tell me is like no hope no dead. So I said to him, say, my baby I gonna live. The only thing he said to me, say, just pray. So him tell us him about the baby will go children hospital and we could go in the ambulance. So in go children hospital and we have to end up go there in the morning, go visit the baby.
Yeah. So the accident was a Saturday. So the Sunday morning was the first day of which he was at Bustamante Hospital, and we went there to visit him. And trust me, because so it was a Sunday morning that we went to Bustamante Hospital to visit him. We did down, we did feel away, we did feel mash up, like we did think
We
the
could eat,
worst.
we could sleep, we wake up in the morning and say,
Yeah,
because normally, mama say me used to sleeping with the baby
yeah,
beside of me. So like me get up and me say, where the baby there, where the baby there? I ask my mama where the baby and she tell me say the baby there at the hospital.
yeah. I bear in mind that them are twin, so we have one, and we might just wonder about the next one, because of two we used to. So I did just want different type of feeling. So anyways, we reach up there, and trust me, when we went to the nursery to visit him, he was the worst baby in terms of situation that he was in. He was the worst baby with it in the complete nursery. Like the baby wasn't. When we see him, like trust me,
Him eye not open, he not correspond to nobody. Me can't feed him, me afraid to touch him.
and there was just be a tube. So him have one of the oxygen mask on, right? Him couldn't peep, him couldn't urinate. Them did have to put a tube. Well, him did a check to see if everything at work. So we just seem string up with like all sort of tubes and everything. I just for your first time father, trust me, I didn't want experience and a half, which me wouldn't want to relive or me wouldn't even recommend for nobody else. But when we see him that way, and so be a negative news followed after that. So it's not like say we did sure of a part that he was on and like the recovery or whatever, like I just bear bad news. So
The
doctors,
baby in a coma.
yeah,
Baby
and
gets strokes. And it's like the doctor them never did have a fully hope stating that the baby will really live. And if the baby, if him really live, him
Him-
will go have the big head.
yeah, as me
and,
said, there's a lot of different things that different because a doctor was in charge of like the ward, right? But different doctors came there to look after him. So everybody had something different to say. So that was the thing. Some people come and like them and tell we say, yo, even if him pull through, him a gonna be like a special baby, him a gonna be like retarded or something, some disability or something. So our spirits
But I
practically
forgive
did
God
down.
thanks a million times.
Yeah.
A million times. Because say when you get headache and your head damage because the doctor say it's on one side damage all over the baby head damage.
Yeah, so that was the next thing, you know. So we had a lot of sleepless nights and
Then the baby not open him eye. The doctor have to clap like the doctor have to slap him every minute. Him not open him eye. The doctor have to use like a heavy equipment for slap him ears just to open him eye. Him eye never that open because I must say probably some bleeding probably run him eye and it just everything just it I don't know everything just sad. It's like me just lost myself.
so at this point, right? Each day we go there, go visit, we had like hope. We say, yo, this is the day that we are
We'll
home
get
with the
him.
baby. You know, so every day we go with the intention say we are care
But we
more.
couldn't get him
Too much things
because
that happen.
him eyes still never that open to always supposed to open like if it open then we watch it and if him eye open it don't stay for a minute. It just lock back down.
Yeah, and what would I ask the
So the doctor
doctors?
was really concerned about that.
Yeah, I would have asked like because one doctor never have a definite thing to say like everybody had something else.
Different things.
One doctor say him see him open in my this a time here. Like one doctor that say like I
Him
think
can
like
go
every
home,
early
man.
morning or whatever him
Him go
open his eye.
there.
Yeah, and you have one a next doctor that came to us and
Say
said
him
that
open his eye, that is the big one, the bigger heads doctor.
Yeah, the
She come and she
specialist.
said him open his eye, but oh he's supposed to open his eye, him not open.
Yeah.
At the time then she said no man, she will really and truly work on this baby and she give him a higher dose medication. At the time, him brain did a swell. When him brain a swell, the skull a bust open. So at that really and truly probably caused him eye no fear open. Mafia go every minute mafia go to CT scan and him go through it and every day I wish if the pain when him go through me could have feel the pain there. Because him go through a lot. Really and truly him go through a lot.
It was a very, very difficult situation. Trust me, everything that we went through for the time that it is just difficult. And because 2 weeks him there up there for. So
Sometimes we could have visit him.
yeah.
Because we are from Mandeville and we could visit him and every minute me feel call my friend named Crystal. We try to meet friends up there and me meet her and I say, I open. She said, girl, stop worry yourself and I go, alright, but deep down I know what the doctor tell me, she don't know but you know like yeah try to cheer up the person if you say, yeah man, I go alright but me didn't me just them the hours that I will say, boy, if you really come around, it is a miracle.
Yeah,
and
like,
it is a miracle.
the odds did against us like by far and the baby. Trust
And
me.
the last time him go up there, them trim the baby head in a more mohawk style. If you just find him vein. And when he go up there, him eye dey open and the day when he eye open, he could see me. Him the look, stress out. Like him probably want give up. And the doctor tell him say,
That a doctor specific. Well, I'm not going to call any name or so, but a doctor particularly told me that there was
no.
no hope for the baby. Like that was it for the baby. Baby was unresponsive or whatever. Him never done
Him open his
nothing.
eye not for long. But
So,
him, you ever see, we ever show some pictures of the baby when him in there and when him trim and
alright, so yeah, guys, we'll be
Everything.
showing you a few pictures. You know, we won't show everything because we don't want everything to be on the internet or whatever. But we'll be showing you like some of the things that are some of the pictures that we have.
all my come on now.
Yeah, and also
And like when we visit doctor, like when we finally get discharged from the hospital, I'm reach home, they so happy. But then again, him tell us say the baby gonna have a terrible headache.
yeah, and
and
seizures.
every night.
So if you look out for seizures.
If you look out for seizure, if you look out for headache, and if you see any funny sign, if you're supposed to come up there, I'm have seizures and all these things, and we reach home, him every minute him cry, him not non-stop, him just cry, and them time them it hurt him. Me if I give him medicine, pain tab because I give him pain medicine, to release the headache.
Yes.
The baby not supposed to drop.
But during this the entire time, you know, we had people praying for us, praying for the baby. We ourselves, you know, with a prayer, we had do everything that
we're supposed to be
we're supposed to
doing.
do as parents wanting their newborn or wanting their baby to come back to, as close as
And
being
it
normal as
hurt me
possible.
because knowing that twin one that would be Liam, him a walk out of everything.
So yeah, there was like him go through a lot of challenges when we just get him. Because remember they are twins, right? So certain things him brother do, he wasn't going to do because him go back a step behind because remember the situation that he's in. So certain things like for everything like the first baby or twin one, him did a creep on everything and the only thing twin two that I enjoy the baby, the only thing him did I do was laying down. He wasn't doing anything. He couldn't move over.
We didn't know saying could see.
Yeah, and he wasn't seeing good.
So
but
like,
we never know that.
me sit down and me look at me and say, no man, this baby really, this bit something wrong with this baby. And me call someone and I say to them, say, say the baby eye now moves like it's supposed to move. And I put something, them say put one like a red toy or something, any red thing, yeah. And like put an eye like that, and I was me that do it.
And he never did that follow. He wasn't following the object, So at that point we realized that there was another concern. So because he was discharged from the hospital, but he wasn't discharged from the hospital itself. Like he had to be coming back and forth for clinics. He had clinic dates like every month. I think like
every 3 weeks.
Yeah, every 3 weeks. So we shared the complaints that we had to the officials there, the doctors and so on. We told them about the eye and we got recommended or referred to the eye clinic and whatever. And there we found out that he did have an eye problem.
So the vein was pale, which that not supposed to pale. And she said she didn't know, she never did know he meet no accident. So she asked me, she was saying that it's either born that way or something. So I said no, he meets no car accident, and she read it and she realized yeah, he meet no car accident. And then she said he may really have to come back again, because he can't grow it out. So I said to her, I said no, I want to come back because I want to know him are, but I just want to continue to visit the eye clinic. So she said, alright then, come back. And I go home and I have the baby, it's like the baby eye starts being like gig. And I said, no man, the baby eye here, I just start worry. And then we'll go back and then she say, yeah, and the car accident caused everything to happen. And then she started saying how badly him eye is. And it is sad when she started about him eye. Yeah,
so that was the problem. That was one of the problems, that we faced. At Bustamante Hospital, he's now at 3 different clinics.
Yeah, eye physio and eye clinic.
The eye clinic, the physio, because at this point, and he's now 1 year and 6 months, and his brother is walking from about March. And he isn't walking, just that creep. We still have to give thanks to that, but he isn't walking. And there are other little problems with like the foot. His foot isn't flat.
Because the strokes that he get the stroke.
Yeah,
so
he got a stroke.
And it's the left side, so it damaged him left side and body.
Yeah, so that part isn't functioning as how it is supposed to.
Yeah, so we have to exercise it really hard.
Yeah, we have to be
try
back and forth, to the physio.
But as always said, the doctor did already tell us that he was slow. We can't compare him with twin one.
Yeah,
because he was really and truly slow.
So at this point, it's sad for you have such a young baby and you have to buy like eyeglass him already, like him can't.
So like
him like nearsighted.
Very so nearsighted bad, so him only can see when near.
Like things immediately in front of him. Anything
like if you're in front of him now, I will move and can't see again.
Yeah.
So they were saying that you next to blind. Till him was saying we have to go blind school with him, but by the grace of God, him not go blind. I would not go no blind school.
So there's just a lot of things we can't really talk about everything,
very long,
because we'd have to make like 10 videos, if you show everything or if you just explain everything that happened, so Now we're just gonna let you guys have a look of certain pictures that we have when he was admitted to the hospital.
When him just born, when did stay,
Yeah, like
and when him admit to children hospital, and when him a walk, try to walk now, creep. We just all showing step by step
yes, guys.
where it is now.
So just have a look. So yes guys, so those are the pictures and everything, you know. So as we're about to end this video, you know, we want to thank you guys for taking the time out to watch
Our
and to
video.
listen, yeah, to listen to our story and what happened. And you know, I know people out there must be facing maybe not the same situation, but like maybe in a similar situation or whatever. Just know that once you pray and you just
Don't
never,
give up.
yeah, don't leave God out of nothing.
Don't give up, because God is real. Trust me.
You know?
Because when Leandre start breathe, me think I want dead baby in my hand.
What
So
is
God
that?
is really and truly good. And
Yeah, so guys, we thank you again, you know, for taking the time out and whatever.
yeah, so if you know want to ask a question how the baby is, and you can comment below and we can answer on a question or do a next video and in update.
Yeah, so you guys can request what you want us to
Yeah,
do
and
next.
ask any question
Yeah.
and just continue to pray for us and the baby. So we're out.
Alright, so bye.